puts up with this? That's what I don't understand.
Bring the lion out. Bring the lion.
Tonight on our show, we're going to have...
Hey guys, don't you think it's kind of fun that you get to comment on the news?
There's a cost. Oh yeah, there's a cost. People come after you.
Like, I think that's why this is so much fun, is because...
We'll see you at 5.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's glad to see you here. And I'm sorry it took us a little long to get on tonight. These are called StreamYard technical difficulties. So I had the whole show plugged in, everything was ready to go, and then it sent all the invites to somebody, all the guys' junk mail. So I had to go resend everything. So this is just what happens when it's live television. Then we've had an exciting day today, and I think Bill's going to tell us a little bit more about Lane County commissioners have some addition and mathematics issues in their life. They redistrict the area to what we would say was pretty unfair. And then it kind of came back to bite them in the butt today because they had to do it by December 1st. No, by November 17th in order to get it to the May primary for the new boundaries to take effect. That's a county law that it has to happen. They didn't do it till December 1st. And so it kind of screwed everything up. So anyway, Bill will have an update on that to tell us what's going on with that. We had a special show today. If you want to see that in detail, you can go back and look at one of those shows. We also have Representative Mark Owens from the east of Oregon, from the far east of Oregon, Harney County, all my favorite places, Harney County, Malheur, Grant, Baker, and I'm probably forgetting some, but probably Wallowa maybe, but all those folks. And there's an initiative petition circulating that would make it illegal to kill animals. I'm not laughing, but it means that you couldn't, I mean, where are you going to get meat if you don't have, I guess we're not supposed to eat meat. But anyway, we're going to talk about that because rural Oregon is pretty concerned about that, as they should be. And at this point, it's just an initiative petition. But you know how Oregon is. Sometimes we'll sign the weirdest things into law, and you never assume it's not going to happen. And then we're going to go to Mercury Metal. Design and Fabrication, a new client. They do the coolest things. And my wife and I are looking for a house. We are so into this. So they do big projects for companies, high-tech metal work and fabrication, but they can also design stuff for you at home. And they're going to kind of show us some of that tonight and give us a little picture. And then we have a really sad story. A man named Larry Mell was just driving along on a road on Highway 38, and the glass in his window shattered, and he got a bullet in his head, and he died. And the family's having a funeral this weekend, and the son is going to join us. Willie is going to come on. They're doing a GoFundMe, but they really want to find out what happened. Because can you imagine if you're the family and you don't know what happened? It's quite distressing. So they really want to know what happened. So that's what's coming up tonight. We're going to move fast because everything is going to go. So Bill, would you just get your news on? Go.
Good evening from the News Radio 1120 and 93.7 FM KPNW studios. I'm Bill Lundun, also known as future litigant to stop clear cutting. What's going on right there? I'm telling you, that right there, that's going to endanger salmon runs. All right, here's a look at the stories we're following. The first one I'm just going to kind of do off the top of my head, seeing as how we covered this morning on the wake-up call, and it has to do with the Lane County Board of Commissioners and the new maps for the county that were adopted dealing with the different areas of Lane County that make up the Board of Commissioner seats. Now, Lane County currently has 5 different districts. Like, for instance, in the Springfield district, it's represented by current commissioner and board chair Joe Burney. East Lane County by Heather Buck. West Lane County, Jay Bozovich, and so on. Now, if you recall, the state went through a process of redistricting the state because of the U.S. Census, which comes out every 10 years. And it's not just the state that does redistricting for, if you will, political bodies, but municipalities go through it, and so do the county. This county and every other county. Now, if you think back, we told you that during the redistricting process that there were 3 maps that the Board of Commissioners were going to look at. They had to adopt one, and that 2 of the maps happened to have been either drawn completely or in part by an individual named Kevin Cornyn. And this individual happens to be a political consultant, and he happened to have been paid $100,000 by Heather Buck and Joe Berney cumulatively to help them win seats on the Board of Commissioners. And this person ended up on the committee that put together the maps, and 2 of his maps ended up in front of the Board of Commissioners when they were going to choose the new maps that would be in place for the next 10 years. And as we told you, one of the maps that he had a hand in was Map J, which definitely rejiggers the areas that are a part of those particular districts. That happened on December 1st, and it's a good idea to keep that date, December 1st, in mind. Yesterday, during a board meeting with the county commissioners, an issue came up, and it has to do with the county charter. The issue is that according to the county's charter, and the charter is, if you will, kind of like a constitution for the county. It tells the county how it's supposed to act, what it's supposed to do, what the protocols for the county are, and so on. Well, as part of the county charter, the rules for the way that the county is supposed to operate, there is an interesting, if you will, portion of the charter that says that the new maps that lay out the districts have to be approved and installed not less than 6 months prior to the next election. Now, the next election in Lane County is going to be on May 17th. Again, Map J was selected by the Board of Commissioners on December 1st, not to go into effect until the end of December. Now, if you have your abacus, you would note that, that doesn't sound like 6 months. Actually, for it to be 6 months, those maps would have to have been approved and in place by November 17th, not December 1st, which put the Board of Commissioners in kind of a cramp. And yesterday, quite an argument erupted about that particular issue, and a decision was made against the wishes of at least one commissioner to hold meetings about what they were going to do regarding this in executive session. Executive session, and we're totally into the weeds here, and I understand this, but this really does have to do all about your representation. Executive session is where commissioners, or a, if you will, board of elected officials, meet away from the public where they can discuss certain issues. Normally, it is used to deal with things like potential litigation that may be going on, and so on. And Commissioner Jay Bozovich said that the meeting regarding how they were going to handle these maps not being adopted in the time frame that they were supposed to, according to essentially the law, that it should be held in public. Well, it wasn't. It went to executive session. What we don't know is what the outcome of that executive session is. However, what we can tell you is that definitely when Map J was adopted, it was under 6 months prior to the May 17th next scheduled election. And if county charter is followed, what it means is that the maps for the Lane County districts that were adopted 10 years ago will still be in place at least through the May 17th election and voting process. My understanding is, and I'm still waiting for a little bit of clarification on this, is that actually it would affect all of the elections to be held in 2022, and the maps wouldn't be able to go into effect until 2023. Asking for details from the county on this, and we were told that they are in the process of crafting a statement. Now, if you're like me, you might be wondering, well, whose job was it to count the months? Ostensibly, it would be board chair Joe Berney. He's the one that sets the agenda. He is the one that puts it together. He is the one that, of course, is behind all of the motions, essentially, or bringing the motions to the table for the different commissions, the different boards, and the like. Essentially, he oversees the business of the Board of Commissioners. And it would have been during his oversight, or potentially some may think lack of, that the scheduling took place to authorize the new maps to go into effect. We'll find out, hopefully, by tomorrow, exactly what happened and what decision was made and how the county is going to react to this. A couple of other short news items. Oregon gubernatorial candidate Betsy Johnson announced that she's resigning from the state Senate to focus on her run for governor. If you recall, she's a 20-year veteran of the Oregon legislature. She was a Democrat, and she said she was giving up her affiliation with the Democrats to run as an independent for the seat held currently by Governor Kate Brown, a Democrat. And she said serving time in the Senate was never a part job for me, but neither is running for governor. Of course, she won't have to go into a primary process because she's an independent, so she's going to be saving a lot of her war kitty for what would be the general election. Okay, Omicron is here in Oregon, and Peter Graven, a lead analyst at Oregon Health Sciences University, says that he expects that we will now have a new COVID surge likely after the first of the year because of Omicron. He said that if you compare what happened in South Africa, the United Kingdom, and Denmark, he says it's likely we will see a large surge early in January. Omicron is unique for a couple of reasons when it comes to COVID. Number one, it doesn't seem to care whether you're vaccinated or not. And the second thing is, it's also very mild. Quietly during Monday's Oregon Special Legislative Assembly, lawmakers released $19 million to partially restore an 11% rate reduction for dental providers who participate in the Oregon Health Plan. Providers have said that the lower reimbursement rates hurt access, including for children, and make it more difficult to hire staff, expand, or take on more patients. The legislature's action actually directs the Oregon Health Authority to spend the money on dental care organizations, and it eliminates the need for the legislature's emergency board to take action. That's about all the time we have. Tune into the wake-up call tomorrow morning if we find any more information about how the board handled, if you will, the mishandling of the maps in Lane County for the board commission seats. We'll bring it to you tomorrow morning sometime starting after 6 a.m. on the wake-up call. By the way, thank you to Dr. Michael Bratland for sponsoring our news tonight, and Chris Dental for being good sponsors. And now it is time for Rick to alliteratively get real. Get real, Rick.
Okay, Bill, I will. So do you understand what Bill's saying? So he's saying by the county not counting correctly, the maps that they designed this year with the help of someone who helped two of the commissioners may have to go away. Interesting how things come back to bite you in the ass, isn't it? We'll see what happens with that one in a minute. I'm going to bring on Mark Owen. Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm good, Rick. How are you tonight?
I'm good. So Mark Owens is a representative for the Far East Oregon, not way over there, but way over in Eastern Oregon. And there's an initiative petition out there called Initiative Petition 13. And it basically makes it so we can't kill animals in Oregon, hunting, cattle. Explain, Mark, and how this is affecting people in your area, because you got a heck of a lot of cattle ranchers and sheepers and all kinds of stuff.
We do, Rick. No, it's very concerning for my community, and my community that I represent is House District 60, which after the new redistricting is going to be 37% of the state of Oregon. So we're talking, like you said, all of Harney County, Malheur County, Grant County, Baker County, all of Lake County, and part of Deschutes. And ag is king. Agriculture, farming, and ranching is what drives our economy. And put simply, Initiative Petition 13 is designed to criminalize farming, ranching, hunting, trapping, pest control, killing of any type of animal for any type of reason.
So fishing too, then.
Yeah, fishing. I mean, it's killing a fish if you want to harvest it and eat it. So you won't even be able to, go out and deer hunt. Won't be able to go out and fish because that's what we consider animal abuse. You'll have no way to do anything except, I think, be a vegan unless you want to eat an animal that died of natural causes.
So this is also being tried in Colorado. I mean, they look at Oregon. We're kind of looked at the trial state. Hey, let's see if we can get this to go in Oregon and Colorado, and then if it does, they start spreading it around. But this even makes it, if you castrate an animal, that's sex abuse, right?
If you castrate an animal, or even if you preg check that animal, or possibly even planned breeding of those animals, it's criminal. And if you have your 16 or 17-year-old daughter or son watching you do that or helping you do that, it would be a felony, Rick.
So people will laugh and go, "Oh, that's so crazy, it'll never happen." How many other bills or initiative petitions have we seen where they come on the ballot and then they actually pass in Oregon, and you're going, what the hell? How did that happen? So people, your ranchers are taking this very seriously.
Yeah, our ranchers, and hunting and everything. But yeah, Rick, this would be almost as crazy as legalizing crack or something. Oh, wait, we did. Sorry.
We already did that. Yeah, no, that's yeah. Oh, that, when you talk to people outside of Oregon, one of the first things they say is, "You guys really have legal drugs? I mean, like, you can't get busted for this." They can't believe that we have that. But that's what I mean. That's why I wanted you on here, because financially, what could this do to not just Eastern Oregon? Because I think it's really easy for the Willamette Valley to go, "Oh, there's not that many people over there." But this is big business in Oregon.
Oh, it is. If you just look at the ranching industry itself, it flops back and forth between the number one ag commodity in Oregon and the number two. Right now, nursery is number one, livestock is number two. So, it's going to cripple our ag industry. And most of our farms over here are set up to provide feedstock for beef animals. My economy is approximately 35 to 40% ag related. And the majority of that ag related would become illegal activities if this passes. It'll just cripple our economy in Eastern Oregon.
So what can people do? One, don't sign the petition. And right now that's about it, right?
Yeah, don't sign the petition. And right now we're fortunate. It takes several $100,000 to get an initiative petition through. Currently, the only funding they have is $1,400. So don't sign the initiative. Make sure when people start to talk about this, of course, the title is going to be, "Yeah, we want to protect animals." Animal abuse is a bad thing, but this is not about animal abuse. This is about illegalizing part of our economy, illegalizing our custom and culture. So get the word out.
Okay, so quickly, tell me also, you have a bill, or you're talking about limiting the emergency powers of the governor. And can you tell us really quickly about what that is?
Yes, we've tried this before. We have three branches of government, Rick, legislative, judicial, and executive. Right now, we'll be controlled by the executive branch through emergency declarations, which I think are basically unconstitutional, that she can open-endedly keep an emergency declaration for as long as she wants. What we have is another attempt at a bill through the short session that would actually go out to a vote of the people to change Article 1 of the Constitution, which says the governor can only declare an emergency declaration for 30 days. She has to list specifically what that emergency declaration means and what counties are involved. After a 30-day period of time, the county board of commissioners can repeal that emergency declaration. We need not to allow our executive branch to run over us. We need to put the power back into our local governments or county commissioners.
Exactly. The county should have, because each county is different, and what works in Portland doesn't work in Harney County, and it doesn't work in Malheur County or even Lane County necessarily. And it's like, this has been one big swipe. So especially over in your guys' part of the state, a lot of this didn't impact you in a big way. And yet you were being treated like you were Multnomah County, and that's crazy.
It is. It's an abuse of power, and we got to get it back to the most local control that we can get.
All right. Mark Owens, representative from the far east of Oregon. We really appreciate you coming on. Thanks for I was going to say making sense of something, but that just explaining it from your. I want to know what you guys think. I don't really care in the valley. I'm kind of, unless there's farmers. I just want to know what people are thinking back there, and I think it's good for my audience to hear that. So thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
No problem, Rick. And I want to say a call out to some of the commissioners and Commissioner Hudson, who was in the chat down in Lake County. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Good night, Rick.
Yeah, I got some Lake County on here because we do a lot of stuff with Lake County. Love that place. It's a great little spot, hidden little gem in Oregon. All right, Mark Owens, thank you very much for your time. All right, so we go all over the state, and you guys need to be aware that this stuff is going on, because if you're not, it's going to get passed, and we're going to end up with a state. I love how he put that. Yeah, we'll be like legalizing crack because we already did. Okay, now we're going to get a little tour. I'm really excited about this part. So, Ryan, are you ready? Okay, you're looking. You ready? You ready? I'm going to bring you on. You ready? Here we go. There he is.
How you doing?
This is Ryan over at Mercury Metals Design and Fabrication, a new client for us, a new sponsor. And I got to tour the shop, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like every boy's dream, and probably a lot of girls too. But I mean, you guys have the most high-tech stuff that you're using to create some amazing things for clients all over the world, but even local people too can take advantage of this. And I'm going to probably do that.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah. We're looking forward to it. You know, there's all sorts of cool projects we do, from anybody walking in off the street that just needs anything made out of metal, as well as large clients that making robotics parts and food industry parts. So it's just a array of a lot of people.
So you're in the upper tower where all the power is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got Mary working on a little project behind me on a CAD, and I was going to go down to one of the lasers so we can see it cutting that part, as well as going down to a weld station. So
okay, take us down. Let's go.
Well,
hey
Larry's working on the CAD right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
You want to zoom out a little?
So, oh wow, look at that.
I think you probably could recognize.
Yeah, that looks like a place I live.
Right.
That's cool. So you got, that is really, so what's that going to be? That'll be cut out of metal then?
Yeah, exactly.
You recognize the mountain range?
Let me see. Oh man, I love those trees. That is so cool. And what's the purple? Oh yeah, look at that.
So you can just manipulate any line we want, you know, and artistic form of just, if somebody has an idea or a sketch that somebody needs to, you know, has an idea, napkin sketch, whatever, we'll draw it up and then kind of modify and tweak things as needed. And,
see, because one of the houses, I was telling you, one of the houses I'm looking at, the cabinetry in the kitchen is really boring, but it has, you know, the outside. And I told my wife, I bet our friends at Mercury Metal could design something to put on the inside of that. That would be like, you know, I would think different scenes from Oregon and Montana. So I'd have my whole life kind of in the cabinets. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
I think
exactly.
it'd be really. Okay, so take us out here. This is.
Yeah, so that's where we're heading down, and kind of, as we walk, yeah, you can kind of see the shop in the background as I'm walking down.
So how many square feet is that?
This is 26,000 square feet.
And it's over by Baker Boots, you guys, kind of in that area, that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so awesome. This is where I got to go. But look at this machinery, you guys, that they have in there. It's absolutely phenomenal. And the only limit to what they can do is your imagination. And they'll take care of that for you. If you don't have an imagination, they'll get you. So what is that?
So this is our laser cutting that same part.
Oh. So that's a laser?
Yep, that's a 4,000 watt CO2 laser.
And Ryan, what is it cutting out? I just can't see really well, but I'm just, oh yeah, look at that. Oh my God, that is so awesome. Okay, I want to borrow that. I want to come. Yeah, how much does that? No, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
You can actually find them pretty reasonably used. You know, they started making lasers back in the 80s. and just gotten more powerful over the years, and gotten into fiber laser from the CO2. So there's quite an array of used ones out in the market as well.
So somebody comes to you and says, "I need a project," and I like you showed us that the screen you had for the patio that came up. So you guys do everything from all over the world, right? I mean, you have clients everywhere.
Yep, there's we send over parts all across the nation. As we don't necessarily go worldwide, but I'm sure some of our clients probably do, because some of them are food industry, robotics, and they get, say a company needs to make mass production of the donuts, and we go to one of our clients that makes food parts and food industry robotics, and so we make all the metal components that go to it. And they add all the pneumatics and electronics and make that a robot, so it just makes donuts. But it could be anything.
So do you know what I think is interesting is that there's so many businesses like yours that are doing amazing things that we just don't know about, because there's, you know what I mean? I think that's what I love about having you guys on here, is to show us the different aspects of our community that people, I mean, I think we have such a limited knowledge of what the businesses that go on around here. Now, what is that machine?
This is a press brake, and it's just basically going to form some 1/4-inch material.
So can you get me up closer? Oh, here we go. Oh, here's we go.
So that part comes in flat.
Okay.
Might be like one of these guys. And we'll form a 90-degree flange on them.
Wow. Now, what's that going to be used for? Do you know?
This is part of an RV, an outdoor RV kind of, high-end motor coaches, any RV industry, robotics industry. There's a lot of NDAs, so I'm not trying to name drop or anything, but basically just if you can think of anything made out of metal or an artistic sense, give us some drawings. We can say, yeah, we can make that. And there we go. We just got to go through the weld. Here's another little cool project.
One of our viewers says, "Frickin' awesome." What is that?
So I don't even know. See, there's so many projects. I'm not familiar with this one, but a staircase of some sort.
Oh my gosh, that is so.
Oh, I think I do know what this is. This is a customer that came in off the street that wanted a hidden room built into his house.
No way.
So here's a bookcases that fold up into doors, and there's behind those doors there's a staircase, and they go up to the loft that's up above, where you gotta envision this inside a house that has a roof that you wouldn't be able to tell where, it's just a ceiling.
That is, Ryan, that is like, you just made my night. I think that would be the cool thing. So, hey, let me ask you something. When somebody's on here, Matt Kendall wants to know, can you laser cut CNC logos, and what's the biggest dimension you can do?
So our sheet sizes come in, for us, we do 5 foot by 10 foot. And we could put multiple pieces together, so just because it comes in as 5 by 10 doesn't mean it's limited to that.
Okay,
we could do four quadrant, 10 foot high and 20 foot long. We've done larger parts with on the side of a large building. I think this thing 60 feet tall, and it was out of 1/4-inch steel, I think.
Well, he's a realtor, so it's probably going to be on the side of a house. It'll be his big face in metal. I'm kidding. Matt's going, oh, great. Thanks, Ray. So where are we?
This is just some welding samples of stainless steel. And then we made some Christmas ornaments we sent out in our Christmas cards this year. You slide those two together and make little Christmas ornaments you can hang on your tree.
Hey, Matt, I'm going to answer your question. I know they can do that. So yeah, they can weld that on. They can put a backlight on it. I mean, you come up with the creative idea and you take it to them, and they'll do it. And then Matt, if you end up doing that, let me know, because we'll shoot it. I want to put it on TV or on here, whatever this is. Nobody wants my face that big. Well, I was going to say that, but I would not. You're my friend. I wouldn't say anything that rude to people I know. So hey, Brandon, how you doing, man?
How you doing, Rick?
I'm good. So you're the one of the welders. Brandon is Melissa, who works for us here at Get Real with Rick Dancer, this is her husband. So I got to meet Brandon, and he's like the welder extraordinaire. What in the heck is that? Oh, you guys, no way. That is so awesome. Oh, I can't believe you did that. That's so awesome. Oh, I love that.
Looking forward to giving it to you.
Oh,
Brandon helped us out. I don't know, he can't hear you because I have my headset on, but
Brandon, thank you. I am so honored. That is, I had no idea you guys were
okay,
doing
thank
that.
you.
I'm going to take that to Montana. Can you show it to me one more time? That is so freaking cool.
You're waiting on that.
You guys, it even has my sunglasses in there. God, that is. Now, I don't think my wife wants that in the kitchen on the counter.
Right.
But that's going to be in my new office, hanging on my wall. That is so freaking cool, you guys. That is the nicest thing ever. I really, that is studly. Did you see that, guys? Get Real with Rick Dancer, designed by Mercury Metal and Men on Black. Hey, you guys, seriously, thank you for being on. How do people, if they have an idea, what do they do? How do they get a hold of you guys?
They can just visit our website, mercurymetalfab.net.
Hey, Melissa, would you put that on there in the comment section? All the information so they'll know. I know you're watching. Somebody's going now, okay, you're going to be logo people. Now, Oregon Gold Hunter says, I want my logo. So you guys, they can do that for you. You know, it's all what you want to do and what you want to put into it. So Ryan and the gang at Mercury Metal Fabrication, Design and Fabrication. You guys, if you have an idea or you just think something metal would be cool, go to them because Larry and those guys can sit down with you and help you hammer out that idea and put it into something permanent because nothing goes like metal. It ain't going to go away.
Right. It's there forever.
You know, and Ryan, I think you're going to make a really good host for this program. You know, I think I may have to hire you away from those people. And we'll
I don't know about that. I've been doing this right out of high school. I love it. But, it's cool to show some people around. I love what I do. So.
And you guys are like a family there. That's what keeps you guys all together, huh?
Yeah, definitely. We're all one big family. That's what makes it all work. Is we all have a lot of skills, a lot of different skill sets, and without everybody here working together, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Well, I appreciate your support, and I really appreciate that logo. I think that's very cool. I'm stunned, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to take that with me to my new home. All right,
you're very welcome.
We'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
Or the week after. I'll get a hold of you.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. God, is that cool? Oh my gosh, I love that. I had no idea. They said, we want to show you one thing at the end and just, we're going to do that. I had no idea they were making me something like that. I really like that. I'm jazzed. Here, Matt got it for us. Here is their Facebook account, and this is their website. So it's now on there. So we're going to switch gears real quick. And sad story, but a family is, we're going to help them. So that's why they're on here tonight. This Willie's sister called me. This is Willie. Hey, Willie, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Rick. Yourself?
I'm doing fine. I know you guys are headed up from California. You and your wife are headed up to the funeral for your father. And I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And your sister, she emailed me the other day and just said, Rick, is there anything you can do to get the word out about my dad? Because you guys, you just, there's no closure. You kind of want to know what happened, right?
Yeah, we really do. It's a tragic event. My father went through so much in his life. I talked to a really close friend, and he's like, it's like he was saved on every event of his life, right? He fought through everything to be with his family and his friends, and for this to happen the way it did is just unprecedented and very tragic.
So can you explain to people what happened? So your dad he was on Highway 38. Just get the whole story so people kind of know.
Yeah, so Yeah, he was on Highway 38. He was driving with his girlfriend, planning their future, right? Yeah, she told me she said that they were planning their future together on what they were wanting to do. And as they're driving, the glass shattered, and
He was driving.
my
Wow.
dad
Yeah.
was driving. Yeah, my dad was driving, and he kind of told her, he's like, "What did we hit? What did we hit?" Right? Because there's glass everywhere, and they they continued driving, I guess, for a short period of time, which is unbelievable. And they realized that they were, they had some blood coming down his shirt, so they pulled over, and his girlfriend and them swapped spots, right, so that she could drive to take him to the hospital because he wanted to go to the hospital, and he didn't make it very far. The bullet that came through the window, the driver's side window, right? So you're driving, and it came through and penetrated his temple. So and right, my sister showed me that it went through like his lens, right? His lens was engraved of the bullet, right? And that, you know, went into his brain, obviously, and he did not make it very long. By the time they were able to call 911, get cell service, call 911, once the paramedics showed up, he didn't have much of a heart rate, or wasn't breathing much neither. So yeah, they ended up taking him to Mercy Hospital, and my sister called me and told me that they were airlifting him to River Bend.
In Springfield,
So
yeah.
this was, yeah, they're in Springfield. So this was it's pretty rapid, around 1:30, 2 o'clock on Tuesday, November 30th.
Uh-huh.
So my sister called me, and I immediately left. Right, I didn't. My wife was going to pick up the kids, and she walked into the house, and I'm like, I'm leaving. This happened to Dad. So my sister was giving me updates. It didn't take too long. A couple hours later, that my sister called me, Gina, and she told me that the surgeon had told her that there was nothing they could do.
So
So
it was
yeah.
probably a small bullet, like a 22 or something like that. Is that what you're thinking?
You know, that's what some people have said.
And obviously,
It's
the state police
considered
are investigating. So, right,
what's that?
State police are investigating this case. They have this case.
Yeah,
So
it
you
is a homicide case. They think it was a long range shot, right? Um, they have the sleeve, and I believe the bullet. So they're trying to track down every the anybody that had a tag for hunting, to see if they were in that area, right? I mean, if this was an accident, I get it, right? But we all make mistakes in life, right? We gotta be held responsible in a way, right? There's an accountability, especially when there's something tragic like this that happens.
So it was on was he on Highway 38?
Yes, he was.
And between what and what,
Yeah.
do you know?
So he was on Highway 38, and what's that? Runthan. Oh, the road page. I got it written down here. I can't remember everything.
No, I don't blame you. You got a lot on your mind. We'll take our time.
Yeah, Putnam Valley and
Okay.
Roaring Camp Lane on
So
Highway
between those,
38.
okay. So you're looking for any information people might have as who was out there, if you know somebody was out there, if you heard something, if you saw something, just to help the police get this thing solved. Because it's really hard. You have to bury your father, but you can't bury what you don't know what happened. And that's just really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're looking for just any information, like you said, that can help us to find, the person responsible for it. He was driving a 2003 Dodge Ram. So he had uh, uh, one of those racks on top of it. So
Okay.
my dad was a very well-known person. I would say our father loved to help anybody he could in the community, in Cottage Grove. Everywhere where he was, he tried to help somebody. So we're asking the community, we're asking everybody if they know any information, to please reach out to the OSP. I got their number here, and just help out, right? I mean,
What's the number?
It's 800 442 2068.
Okay, I'm going to put that up
Yeah,
there.
man. He was a great father, a father of 8 children and many grandchildren, and it's not the way someone should be taken away from life, right? It's
Right.
not the way.
Well, Willie, to you and your family and your sister and Gina and the rest who contacted us, we're very sorry for your loss. And I really hope you find some peace and find somebody that have. And also, you guys, there is a GoFundMe. So that's the police number. There is a GoFundMe to help because the costs of something like this are horrendous and the family could use your help. So, Willie, go ahead, get back on the road. I know you stopped, you pulled over to talk to us, and you guys make your way up. And, again, we're very, very sorry for your loss.
Hey, thanks, Rick. I appreciate it.
You're welcome,
I appreciate
buddy.
everybody's help. We all do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. That's just scary. You just think that could be anybody. And so when Gina called up, I just thought, gosh, of course we'll help you. I tell you, that's what I love about doing this with you guys. If I was on the news, we'd have to make that a short 30-second blurb with a phone number. And then you don't really understand and you don't give the family a voice. And at times like this, they need to have a voice to be able to say something. And that is why we do what we do, so that other people have a voice. Somebody called me today and they said, God, Rick, there's some people out there sure don't like you. I said, you know what? That's fine. That's life. It's what it is. But I'll tell you what, we all get to be part of the conversation. And if you start shutting people down, we're going to open up those doors and we are going to come in. And if I love this state too much to let a bunch of manipulators run it. And so we're gonna get your voice out there, and I don't have to agree with you, but I do have to give you some space. Oregon Gold Hunter, that's why I don't watch it either. Well, share this on your page if you would. If you are somebody, always what we always want to make sure, Chris Daniel is one of our sponsors, and then also Mercury Metal, Design and Fabrication. And when you saw that today, when you sponsor our sponsors, they sponsor our content. So if you like our content, we want you to use our sponsors. So that's Buck's Sanitary Service, that's New Leaf Hyperbarics, that's everybody involved with us, Blue Valley Bistro, all of them. That's how it all works. And we really appreciate your support and we appreciate theirs as well. We will be back tomorrow night with Corinza Burris, my former co-anchor on KEZI. She'll be joining us, and also the folks at Any Lab Test Now Eugene. You need to have your COVID test if you're going to be flying in certain places. They have all that information and they can do them overnight. So we're trying to get them on tomorrow. They will be on tomorrow so we can get you guys in and out before you have to go travel for your Christmas and New Year's holidays. So they'll be here to talk more about that. All right. And be sure to tune in with Bill Lundun tomorrow morning on KPNW. Maybe you'll have the answer of what comes out of that executive session secret meeting at the county. We'll keep prodding them. And until then, I will see you tomorrow.